I am Caitlin Steffen, and I want to thank you to all my new subscribers. You guys are awesome. And to the ones just now joining the family, I appreciate it. I am a mouthpiece for God. I do prophetic messages, and I'm also like a life coach, but it's more, I don't want to call it a medium, but it's more like, you know how you can get readings through tarot readings? Well, that's basically what I do without the cards. I've never dipped and dabbled in that. I didn't have to, right? So if you are interested in a reading, or if you need guidance or help or something that you're seeking clarity on, you can always email me at godsglory2222@gmail.com, or if you just need to reach out and talk. And guys, I am like super backed up on my emails for right now. So the ones you guys that do see this, that's why, if I haven't gotten back to you. But I have a couple things that I wanted to go over with you guys real quick. Because you guys are my family. I love you guys, okay? And it's basically a poem. I'm not really sure, but it's called Spiritual Climate, all right? There is no powers that be. It all stems from your insecurities. Our society taught you that. Then you form a bearer to protect the very thing making you miserable. Remember, being a kid with those dreams, etc., then you get your heart broken for the first time. It was all by design to keep you from me. You are who I created you to be. The door is open. You've asked and begged to enter. Now it's here. And then you fear. Let go already. Come in to see. It's created just for you, which is me. What's behind it, you may ask? That's the silly questions. Again, the same invasive thoughts of choice you create. The outcome. You're a part of the sun. The gate won't stay open for long, but you've made it thus far, for you're right on time. Just focus on the one. Birthrights are being reinstated. Be you've waited, endured, fell, stumbled, begged me for death, time or two, but it was always you. Create and speak life. That's the key to open the desires of your heart. The throne awaits you. Sometimes we are so hurt and traumatized, and as we're experiencing this healing journey, we want to close the door on just everything, because we know how there's not many more chances we're going to get, right? As far as having this love to give, this open, genuine love that not many people have to offer. It's usually malice, or, people get jealous over the simplest things, and envy will cause the most amazing person turn into the most wicked individual. And that to focus on somebody else's life more than your own, maybe that's where you could go wrong, right? And the chosen have endured that their whole life, just being targets, not even knowing why, always quick to take the blame. Look, you're not insane, and you're not taking the blame anymore. Logically thinking this out, was I in the wrong, was I not? And then go from there. So here's another one that I just now wrote. And it's called As the Story is Told. As the story goes, you wake up and realize you're alone. Why does it cause a pain you've grown used to know? As you grow older, children turn from their childlike ways. When they have it figured out, the drought caused by society created your life for you, as well as your identity. Who said you wasn't worthy? Your trauma, your flaws, the ones the world taught you to hate. Don't waste another minute and find your faith. But faith without works is dead, just like you, dead inside, crying out for help. It didn't come, so you learned how to come undone. You are the only one that can save you at this point. Yes, we have Christ. Yes, we have the teachings. Yes, we have, what society has taught us, which I've been diving deep on this whole thing, and it's like, let's test. They want to preach the gospels, and they want to act like they're this cookie cutter person, but they deny him by their works. You see what I'm saying? So I'm done with the church. I'm done with the church. We are the temple. We are the church. And the ones that have been up, putting their indoctrinations in with what the government wants them to do because of the funding that they get, it's wrong. All right. And then God is raising up people like me. Guys, I'm flawed. And my past is extremely flawed. And rightfully so, I've endured. It's amazing that we are even our right state of mind, right? The ones that God is raising up are like Joseph. They've done been in prison. They've done been, there's the worst of the worst, you guys. And that is why, because they've endured things that these people up there with the, on the pulpits couldn't imagine going through. So what does that happens? They have compassion. They know pain. They know what it's like to be left for dead. Not all of us got dealt the best cards, and the ones that are being called, that's why. Because out of all the trials and tribulations you've went through, you still have the ability to smile and have joy. Like, you're amazing, dude. So, like, who told you were naked, Adam? Who told you were naked, Eve? Who told you were ugly? Who told you were unworthy? This world? Have you seen where it's headed? And to my masculine males, to my males in general, masculine or not, there's nothing wrong with you. You have testosterone in your body, and you're allowed to, you guys are supposed to be aggressive by nature towards certain things. Obviously, I'm not talking about pounding out, beating up women or anything like that. I'm saying, look at it bare in wilderness, right? This is going to be for somebody if you make it through this long through the video. 2 bears in the wild, right? This is where we got messed up because we have grown, our society has been so matrix, it's just like a matrix that we don't even realize how organic we are to the earth, right? 2 bears in the wild, right? There's a female, she's walking around doing her thing, and there's 2 males. What do? They fight. And which one gets to breed? The one that wins, right? Why? That's Mother Nature's perfectly, the ecosystem of it all is completely perfected because the weaker one will not be able to carry on the lineage. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with you having that aggression. Make sure you are taking, don't take it out on the wrong people though. I'm tired of our society targeting you guys, and I'm vindicating for the men. We need men, ladies. I don't know what you guys are thinking. How are we going to keep reproducing? Where we would go extinct? Okay? Give your men a break and let them be men. And you be a woman. I know listen, I have to play both roles. I just used chainsaw and cut down a tree today, right? I play both roles, but at the same time, I know my purpose as a woman. To nurture, to nest, to take care of homestead, right? While the male is out hunting to bring in the food or the grocery, the money, whatever. You gotta, and this is why it's getting so confused right now as to why, like, the LGBTQ and everybody their identity is being placed because the society's telling them, and I guarantee it's a therapist or something that has a license. And they're doing all this stuff to innocent people for money. For mammon. Paper money. Shh. You could burn it. It means literally nothing. Just like the paper that I write on. Shh. Burn it. It's tangible. It's not gold like you. It's not gold like your heart. I have more of these to come, you guys. And to all you guys that have commented, shared, and liked, I really appreciate you guys. And also, guys, when, like, okay, here's something. Sometimes some of these things are just weird. When receiving the news on the property hand designed by me and TMH, which is the Most High, I am so extremely excited and pleased with how effortless the move was and how I find safety and unity in my husband. My home is everything God showed me. I'm grateful for my new ranch. I am so at peace. I feel safe here. Write down this kind of stuff because you are the one creating your reality. Rewrite your story. If you were Orphan Annie like me, rewrite it. Rewrite it. Act like it never happened. Obviously, you'll reflect. Do what you got to do to get through it. But don't be in that woe is me mentality, guys, because you can be in that woe is me mentality and not even realize it. Kids have something figured out. They really do. They don't go around acting crazy and stressed. You know, they can build a fort and play hide and seek and stuff like that. And here, once you get into the adulthood, it's like all hell wants to break loose on you. You get into high school, you get bullied, it's just all backwards. And God is setting the record straight. And the first thing he wants done is his name cleared. The church has not taught you right, okay? And if I'm wrong, then God have mercy on my soul, because I would not even be making these videos if it wasn't for God. I never would have thought that God would ever use somebody like me. You see what I'm saying? And let's go into a little bit of Q&A, because a few of you guys have asked me questions about myself, right? So I am a single mother of a 7-year-old. I'm an elevator technician. My dad's in the trade, and it's something that I've was just naturally. It was just come natural to me, right, to learn, and I couldn't do school, so it was like the best way out at that point. So, and then I ended up struggling with years of addiction, guys. Strong addiction that led to homelessness. Just a lot of downfalls. Okay, and I keep looking back on my life and how naive I was and how innocent that sin was. And how I felt so persecuted when I was being called. Like, I had cleaned my life up a lot when I found out that God was calling me, right? But I still had, my hands weren't completely clean yet. So I'm like, there's no way, I must be losing my mind or something like that because of that. And I'm telling you right now, the only reason that he says to be sober-minded and vigilant is because your vessel, your body, it's tearing up your body. He wants you to live a long and healthy, prosperous life, right? He promises immortality, eternal life. How are you going to do that when you're ravishing it ignorantly because you're running from pain? And you're lucky you're not insane. I hope this made sense for who it was for. I hope this reaches for everybody it was for. And so I did go into a wilderness season, right? And that was when I got off of my prescription of Suboxone. I was on prescribed for 7 years. That was really, really, really difficult. But after I did that, it seems like everything's been reset within my confidence, my ability to tap in with just the way my body works. Like, you know, the way your bowel movements work. Everything is just back to normal. But it was hell getting through it, right? So, and you guys, I did, I fell short. I've been to jail a couple times. It's just one charge that was, very bizarre. It's just something that the chosen must endure, right? And if that wouldn't have happened, I never would have had the first seed planted. So, I get out on probation, I think, and it's a misdemeanor charge, right? So I went on the run for like 3 years. And when I finally did get caught, I was pregnant. Okay. And with my daughter now. And the judge wasn't going to give me any more chances. So he shipped me to the state penitentiary. That's where I had her. And that was the most traumatizing thing I think I'd ever endured, as far as being alienated from supposedly humans. Like, I seen how it looked, but you guys, it was like they shouldn't treat everybody the same. There was a girl that was, her due date was right the same as mine. And it was her 5th child that she's had in that situation. And like, I'm just thinking in my mind, maybe that's why they're judging me so hard, because of people like her that don't ever change and don't raise their kids, things like that. I knew this wasn't going to be my story. Thank God. Thank God. All praises to God. Because they almost killed me. They in the hospital, I had to have a C-section and blood transfusion. And I remember, you know, the incision they made, you guys, it was crazy. They didn't numb me right. And by the time they only numbed my right side, it paralyzed me from this, instead of just from here down, it paralyzed just the side. So like, this was hanging. And so when they get to the middle of my incision, blood started leaking out real bad. And I'm like, this is just the way I am. Because the lady wouldn't hold my hand, the CO, right? She said, I don't know you. And they got me chained to the bed like Christ. And Trump changed this law after the fact. I think it was the same year. But they had me chained to the bed. She wouldn't hold my hand. And I'm like, and I was praying to God, and I was praying to Jesus and Danielle, my sister, because I was scared, you guys. I'd never been so scared in my life. Nobody even knew where I was. Nobody knew I was giving birth, and they wouldn't let nobody know nothing. So I'm under the mercy of these nutbags, and that's why I don't trust doctors, because they were talking when I was fading in and out in a way that I had never heard people talk before. And so I'm watching them, right? They didn't have no guard up. It wasn't like a normal one. Like if you have somebody there supporting you. No, it wasn't nothing like that. It was almost like an experiment. So, and I see this big, as I'm like, oh God, I'm leaking. And I'm just screaming and praying. I didn't have nothing else, guys. I didn't have nothing else left. And I seen this golden light to my left. And I kept hearing, keep your eyes on me. Keep your eyes on me. And I'm like, I got to keep looking. And I see him pulling all my shit out. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh my God, please, by the grace of God and the peace of Jesus, please just let us make it. So they pull her out, and I'm like, listening. I'm like, trying to hear her cry, because I was fading in and out, guys. I lost so much blood by that time. It was crazy, because the only one that showed me any humility was the one lady that said, I better sign my signature for a blood transfusion. And I said, I ain't going to need it. I was so sick. They had let me get so sick. I didn't care to. She said, just scribble your name on it. And I did. If it wouldn't have been for her, I'd be dead, right? So I wake up 6 hours later with another IV in my arm, and my baby's gone. And I start panicking. I wanted to know where she was. You know what I mean? Were they going to tell me she was lost? Did she make it? We didn't know. And that nurse came in there, and she ripped that catheter out of me and said, if you don't calm down, you'll never see your baby. That's what happens when you're in state custody. You know what my charge was? A possession of a controlled substance. And I never got caught with anything, right? I had one of my best friends, well, supposedly, kept calling me, wanting some controlled substances, right? Because like I said, I had struggles with that. But what she was asking me for, she knew I couldn't get. But I needed some money anyway, so I sold her a birth control pill. And she was wearing a wire on me at the same time. And yeah, set me up. Who goes to prison on a misdemeanor charge that's like 10 years old? I just turned 18 when the indictments went out for that. And by the time I finally served out, I was 23. And my sentence was only, not only, it's a long time when you're actually in there, but it was only a 365 calendar year. And they gave me many chances, but I didn't have much to live for, I did, but I just didn't see it yet. I don't even know if I can share this. This is a pretty, I've shared this story a few times, especially to my family, and they never, ever gave me that recognition, like, yeah, that was crazy, and I can't believe you endured that. Like, never. They always had, like, one more to outdo mine. So I really just kept it deep down inside, and I was just glad to be out of there, And then I had to go complete a 3-month rehab treatment program with my daughter there, and I got through that. Her dad was there the whole time, and I hope she can't hear me, because she don't know. No, she can't. Okay. So her dad supported me through that. But after I got out and we got our place and everything, we were getting our life back together. It was straight and narrow. I wanted to raise my daughter, right? Because I'm a motherless child. And I remember holding her. I had cuffs to the wheelchair, like I was going to hop up and run out of there. And I remember holding her, and I knew she was mine, They let me hold her for 30 minutes, just long enough to name her. And the CO's the one I said, do you think we should name her America or Danielle after my sister? And she said, oh, yeah, America, I like that. I was like, all right. So it is. So I'm holding her, and I'm looking at her, and I'm crying. I'm like, I'll never let the world do you like it's done me, ever. That was what I was just, promising this kid that had a weird looking head. Because she was in the birth canal for so long. They didn't do us right in there, you guys. And a lot of it our society shuns a lot of people for that kind of stuff, and it's all money scheme from our government. A lot of it. The people that are in there for the same, that are in there for the certain things, people with money do even worse and get away with it because they have money. And it's like a lot of society is so cut off from that concept because of the flashy, shiny things that these people have, when they do more worse things than you could ever imagine. They should be buried under the prison for the things that they do and the sacrifices they make with kids and all that other stuff. It's real, guys. It's real. And I don't want to go into that much because it's not my place to really speak on. Or maybe it is. I don't know. But that stuff that they take part in order to gain that status, if you only knew, you wouldn't be so quick to glorify these stars that you guys basically worship, an idol. God's first commandment is thou shalt not idolize or worship any other God. And I know that like in my heart and soul. And that's another thing. Never make me your idol. I have been picking up on somebody's energy. I'm not saying this out of arrogance. I'm saying this out of a knowing. One of you guys think about me a lot, and I don't want you to make an idol out of me. I'm a mouthpiece for God, and I'm here to point you to God. Okay? That's all. And I love you guys. And I do play the drums. Somebody asked me if I played any instruments. I do play the drums. I'll post some stuff. I just got to be careful with YouTube because of copyrights and stuff. But I'll post a little something on there for you guys to show you guys what I got. And I like to sing, and I write songs. I've been writing songs my whole life. And I'm not the best singer, but you know, I'm sure my neighbors could tell you all about it. But all right, you guys, I hope this was able to clear up some stuff about me personally. But yeah, the wilderness. I moved to Texas. God told me to move to Texas. It was completely spontaneous. I had no idea why. Now I do. And I had money saved up, right? I had about 30 grand saved up. That was my life savings. And I invested it all into what was going on in my mind. Nobody told me this. This was something my spirit knew. And if I could go back in time and take it back, I wouldn't take back not one second of it because I didn't know who I was till I went out there. I didn't know the dominion I had till I went out there in the wilderness, the unknown. I was 22 hours away from home. Nobody knew where we was, not even me. But God had promises. And I said, hey, if these are legit, show me. Show me that I have this dominion. Show me that I can trust you. Show me that these fear mongers that have told me that we get trafficked or this or that, show me that this is not going to happen to me because I'm yours, right? Everything that he has ever promised me has came to pass, you guys. And it is yet to be fulfilled, including this platform. This is my purpose. And whether I make a bunch of money or not, knowing that I was able to help one person know that they're not condemned just because of the way the world has persecuted them for their so-called sin, and they still feel like it's okay to go and talk to God in your secret place or when you're by yourself. That's like $1 million to me. That's $1 million to God. God, if I would have had this kind of insight way before, it would have accelerated me. I wouldn't have had to have spent so much money, But that's why I have that confidence. If I would have never did that, I wouldn't have confidence in knowing who I am and knowing why God called me and knowing that it's okay to talk about my shortcomings. He wants that because he knows his are the ones that are out on drugs on the streets, are prostitutes, are strippers, are people that fell short to the point they had no idea that they are a whole child of the Most High God because of the church. How would God ever accept me? I was this or that. Here, he's inside of you the whole time. He's saying, come to me now on the strength you have. I don't care what you've participated in or where you've been. We are not counting the past. We're not counting the future. We are counting the present that I'm giving you. And that is this moment here right now. In another minute, another second from you hearing my voice, you'll never get back again. So thank you for sharing that with me. And let that sink in. And faith without works is dead. Put your hand to the plow, child of God. And it takes time. God's not a genie in a bottle, right? It takes time. It can take years. But if you have that faith and you have ears to hear, He will get you there. I'm a witness. I'm a walking, breathing witness. And you judge people, you test people's spirits, you test people's consistency on who they are, how they present themselves, and the fruit of their life. Do they deny? Are they talking and preaching and then deny him by the works of their own hand? By gossiping, slandering, having wrongful judgment over people? Those of you guys that get on here and judge people, you will find yourself in that. You will be judged just the same, just as harsh. We are not God. We are not to be judging people. If you want to judge people, get the hell off my page. And I say that respectfully, okay? And I love every one of you guys, even the ones that do that, all right? I love you guys too. All right, I don't know if I'm even going to be able to share this one, you guys, but if I do, let me know what you think, all right? But I'm going to go to bed. I got kids having slumber parties and stuff going on. And see, all right, stay blessed, stay up.